Okay. I think we're live. Kind of. As live as you can be on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. 9:01. I'll wait a couple seconds, see if people can find me. I didn't do anything about saying, hey, I'm on, I'm not on. Shame on me. That's my bad. My bad, my bad, my bad. So I'm going to go over here to the iPad, make sure that volume's down, 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 and see what happens. Click on me. We'll see what happens. Carol's still a little under the weather, actually, so she's won't be here this morning. But if anybody else wants to if anybody else is crafting and wants to just come in and show me your hands, show us your hands crafting. If you have a quick setup, that would be awesome. I would be glad to send out the link. So, see, and live comments, yes. Live comments, post a comment. Okay, I see myself over here. There's one person here. Well, I think I'm just going to do what I had planned on doing. Oh, I'll be right back. Where's the other card? Oh, boy. I don't know what I did with the other card. Of course I didn't know what I did with the other card. What would I have done with that? Hi, Allison. Good morning. Oh, thank you, Carol. Thank you so much for doing that. I didn't even do that for myself. So thank you so much. Hi, Arlene. So glad to see you. Yes, I was on my way to go. I got my postcard from Becky, which is hysterical, but I also got a beautiful card from Sharon Lombard, and I don't know where I put Sharon's cards on. I didn't want to just show Becky's and not show Sharon's, so I will show them both together. But it was a lot of. It was funny. It was to the point, so that was good. So we're here again on another Sunday morning, and I have a whole bunch of stuff in front of me. Not sure what I'm going to do. So I kind of said that we're going to do a little of this, a little of that. Arlene's trying to get into her computer. That dang computer. I tell you what, they lock you out. And my computer, my new camera won't speak to the Logitech Capture Logic or Logic Capture that I downloaded so I could adjust it, and they won't talk. And I've tried everything. I've Googled it and tried to figure out what I've done wrong, because I've done something wrong. Still haven't been able to figure it out. Now, honestly, have I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out? No. So I can't it's kind of on me. I kind of think about it at the last minute and then kind of fumble with a couple of things, and then it doesn't work and I give up. I mean, I know a whole bunch of you are using this camera and using Logic. Is it? Yeah. It's Logic Capture or Capture Logic. One of the others capturing one or the other. So you can adjust, because I think the autofocus is on this, and see if I can do something about the glare. You see my old. Maybe. Ooh. Oh. It's not too dark, is it? No, it's even more glary. I have a new lamp too. Stick that over. Well, stick it. No. I'll just have to kind of deal with it, I guess. I guess it was better where it was. I should have just left it alone, right? Good morning, Teresa. So lovely to see you. It's great that everybody can be here. I'm going to start out with my good old Robert. I'm going to read a little bit from Robert. I think you're enjoying a little bit of Robert to start the day off. This one's a little bit, well, they're not real long, but this is a little bit longer than most, but it's still, it's, again, not that long. Today's Juneteenth. Juneteenth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Juneteenth. June 19th. There'll be no mail tomorrow. It's a federal holiday celebrating the emancipation of African Americans. On June 19th, a Union General Gordon and 2,000 Union troops rode into Galveston, Texas, and told about 250,000 African American slaves that they were free. So it's a big celebration. And they didn't know they were free. It was 1865, I do believe. A big celebration. All right, here we go. And this is 1963. From deep in the canyon aisles of a supermarket comes what sounds like a small-scale bus wreck, followed by an air raid. If you followed the running box boy armed with mop and broom, you would come upon a young father, his 3-year-old son, an upturned shopping cart, and a good part of the pickles shelf all in a heap on the floor. The child, who sits on a plastic bag of ripe tomatoes, is experiencing what might nicely be described as significant fluid loss. Tears mixed with mucus from a runny nose, mixed with blood from a small forehead abrasion, mixed with saliva drooling from the mouth that is wide open and making a noise that would drive a dog under a bed. The kid has also wet his pants and will likely throw up before this little tragedy reaches bottom. He has that sound back here. Here it comes look of a child in a pre-ERP condition. The small lake of pickle juice surrounding the child doesn't make rescue any easier for the supermarket 911 squad arriving on the scene. The child is not hurt, and the father has had some experience with the uselessness of stop crying or I'll smack you syndrome, and has remained amazingly quiet and still in the face of the catastrophe. The father is calm because he is thinking about running away from home. Not just walking away, getting into the car, driving away somewhere down south, changing his name, getting a job as a paper boy or a cook in an all-night diner. Anything that doesn't involve contact with 3-year-olds. Oh, sure, someday he may find all this amusing, but in the most private part of his heart, he is sorry he has children, sorry he married, sorry he grew up, and above all, that this particular son cannot be traded in for a model that works. He will not and cannot say these things to anybody ever, but they are there, and they are not funny. The box boy and the manager and the accumulated spectators are terribly sympathetic and consoling. Later, the father sits in his car in the parking lot, holding the sobbing child in his arms until the child sleeps. He drives home and carries the child up to his crib and tucks him in. The father looks at the sleeping child for a long time. The father does not run away from home. This is 1976. Same man paces my living room, carelessly cursing and weeping by turns. In his hand is what's left of a letter that has been crumpled into a ball and then uncrumpled several times. The letter is from his 16-year-old son, same son, the pride of his father's eye, and was until today's mail. The son says he hates him and never wants to see him again. The son is going to run away from home because his terrible father. The son thinks the father is a failure as a parent. The son thinks the father is a jerk. What the father thinks of the son right now is somewhat incoherent, but it isn't nice. Outside the house, it's a lovely day, the first day of spring, but inside the house, it is more of an apocalypse, Apocalypse Now, the first day of one man's next stage of fathering, the old gray ghost of Oedipus, who has just stomped through his life. Someday, some long day from now, he may laugh about this, even this. For the moment, there is only anguish. He really is a good man and a fine father. The evidence of that is overwhelming, and the son is quality goods as well, just like his father, they say. Why did this happen to me? The father shouts at the ceiling. Well, he had a son. That's all it takes. And it doesn't do any good to explain about the right now, for you have to live through it. Wisdom comes later. You just have to stand there like a jackass in a hailstorm and take it. This is 1988. Same man, same son. The son is 28 now, married with his own 3-year-old son, home, career, all the rest. The father is 50. 3 mornings a week, I see them out jogging together around 6 a.m. As they cross a busy street, I see the son look both ways with a hand on his father's elbow to hold him back from the danger of oncoming cars, protecting him from harm. I hear them laughing as they run on up the hill into the morning. And when they sprint toward home, the son doesn't run ahead, but runs alongside his father at his pace. They love each other a lot. You can see it. They are very careful of each other. They have been through a lot together, but it's all right now. One of their favorite stories is about once upon a time in a supermarket. This is now. And this story is always. It's been lived thousands of times over thousands of years. And literature is full of examples and tragic endings that Oedipus, the son, leaves, kicks away, and burns all bridges, never to be seen again. But sometimes, more often than not, I suspect they come back in their own way and in their own time and take their own fathers in their arms. That ending is an old one too. The father of the prodigal son could tell you. Isn't it Father's Day too? Right? Today's Father's Day. So this is kind of apropos. I just picked this one. But I think we've all been sons, daughters, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons. You know, we've all been through this. I can remember Richard, I think, was probably about 7, maybe a little bit younger, and he was very upset with his father and I, and he was going to run away. And we said, fine, you know. Yeah, it is Father's Day. I thought so. Thanks, Arlene. And he was going to run away, and we said, fine, we'd help him pack. And yeah, he was kind of looked at us like, oh, really? You're going to help me pack? And so we, didn't make, good morning, Ruth. We didn't make a big deal of it. And he did run away to the basement. He decided it was really cold. It was the middle of winter. And at least he had some smarts that he was not going to go out in 20-degree weather. So he packed up I guess he had a teddy bear and a blanket and maybe a book or two. And he ran away to the basement. And he hung out in the basement for a while, like 2 hours. And then he came back home, and we were all happy. We welcomed him back home, and it was a great reunion. So kids run away. I don't remember running away, but I'm sure I probably did. Have your kids ever run away, or have you ever run away? But as Robert says, as time heals wounds and you become closer with your parents, and then all is forgiven. Sometimes not. But I thought that was a fun one, and honestly, I forgot. I forgot that today was Father's Day, which makes this reading even more apropos. Yes, he was no fool. He was going to the basement, not to the outdoors, because I think it was February when he thought he was going to run away. So. Anyway, I've done a couple of things. When I was on yesterday morning, I did some, I'm going to call gluing. It's because it's not really oldest son. Oh, he went to the shed for a few hours. See, there you go. He left the premise. He went to the shed. Yeah. Kids are great. They are. Oh, I just got pictures from my oldest son. I told you that I found out last weekend, just casual, piece of information that he and his wife were going to Iceland. So he's now sending pictures back from Iceland, and it looks like they're having a beautiful time. He came home to get the brown sugar. He ran away without the brown sugar, Ruth, and he had to come home to get. Oh, that's hysterical. Oh my God. Was he making cookies out there or what? That is funny. Oh Lord. That's brown sugar. Interesting. So yesterday I did some collage in this, and it's really not collage, but I'll talk about that later. Well, anything. I mean, you can call it anything you want when you glue paper down. But this is what and I did a couple more because I told you after I left yesterday, I knew I couldn't stop where we had stopped. I think we did this one yesterday during the stream. And then I did this one afterwards. Let's see if I can get the glare out of that a little bit. Yeah, kind of. So that's the one I did after I left the stream. Again, these are big pictures and big pages. I've got this guy looking through the bunny ears. And then I did this one, which I kind of like. Let's see. I've got her looking down at this, ancient person. There looks like they're maybe both working. And this one, I just like that my Andrew is so much like his mother. Oh, that's so sweet. And then this is just the cover of something, and I didn't want to change it, except I added a pair of legs to the rockets. And that's all I did to this page. So I did do a couple more. Well, one, yeah, 2, 3 more, if you want to call it, in this big book. And this is a nice size if you have big collage pictures. Good morning, Aunt Bex. Good to see you. I got your card. I got your postcard. And I also received Sharon Lumbar's, and I don't know where I put it. So I want to show the two of them together. But Aunt Bex, yours made me really laugh. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. While I'm awake, I made a file folder journal. Oh, okay. Oh, you were up. You didn't sleep well last night? Let's see. I was up nearly. And then I'll sleep. Well, I'm sure your hours are still kind of messed up. With Scott home too. Seed catalog. It's big. Yes. Yeah. I think the biggest. It's another whole concept. When you're laying down big pictures, and then you want smaller pictures to give it some scale or whatever. But yeah, I like the big ones. I started a big one many years ago, and it's in a thing tucked away, and it's on 11 by 7, 14 by 17 sheets of paper, which I folded in half, and I was going to make a journal out of that, and it's buried. It hasn't been brought out since I moved here. Actually, yeah, since I moved here. So I thought I might like to do just to glue some stuff down in this street art sketchbook. And then I thought I would like to. Good morning, Angie. Nice to see you. And I thought I might harvest this. I mean, I talked about this a little bit. This could be a really incredible. Hi, Kimberly. Just lurking as you. Yeah, I find myself, as the older I get, the more lurkier I get. I lurk. Lurkier. I don't. That sounds kind of obscene. I'm a lurk. Well, lurker is kind of. Well, isn't that why they came up with the other term, gently listening or sitting in the bleachers? Because lurker doesn't sound really nice. But and then I thought, since I said sewing, and I thought maybe I would follow Aunt Beck and do some stitching on my what are we calling this, pre purse, pre bag thing, and maybe throw some stitches around my flowers. My flowers, you can kind of see them, but it'd be fun just to outline them with a big stitch. I think you didn't, your address was on the journal. Oh, I don't care. Come get me. No, my address is everywhere. But thank you, Kimberly. I should collage that out. I can put a stamp over it or a picture. I'll probably end up collaging the front of that anyway. So I thought I could stitch around that. And the other thing, I keep on talking about what I could do, and I should just start doing it, right? You're probably saying, okay, just get off your butt and do something. I'm going to, this is a little wild. Okay, this is March. This is April, and I have my heart thing from, thank you. My heart pin from Becky, and I have to do April. Now, this is going to be May, and this is the piece of the Cantha quilt that I bought that I cut up, and this is the lovely postcard that I got from Julia, who lives in the same town as Janet Nash. And I cut, and these flowers are from this side, so I cut them out, and I was just going to sew this lovely postcard on here, and sew these here. So it's not going to be much, but they kind of show up a little bit. And that's it. That's it for May. June, this is going to be crazy. Hi, Mary Lou. Good to see you. Good morning. How's your dad? Yes, it's Father's Day. I have a piece of this Timmy fabric. Now, you look at it and you go, no, Anne, you can't use that. That's just too wild and crazy. But this is what I'm thinking of doing. I have a lot of these, in paper form. Wouldn't it be cool to sew on the paper tickets over these kind of throughout it? And then that would just be it. That's all I would do, is find these tickets, which I do believe I have a lot of them, sew them down, maybe sew in some other Timmy stuff, and call it a day for June. But the other thing I would want to add to June would be, that would be really long. I could add a couple of the postcards. I have to show you. And Sharon, I apologize. I don't think she's here, but I have to show you Becky's postcard, because it made me laugh out loud. I'm standing at my post box, laughing out loud. This is when I was doing the cowboy journal, I guess, Becky. We were talking about, as a kid, I always wanted a horse. And, there always used to be these things on the back of packs of matches where you too can win a horse or something like that. And so this was Becky's postcard to me. It says, some people dream of going to Paris, others dream of horses. And that was me. And it's gorgeous. It's got Paris in the middle of it. And on the other side, I'll cover my address. It says, hi, Anne, a horse postcard just for you and your cowboy heart. Enjoy. And then she said it was nice that Tanya organized the swap, which was wonderful also. But that was Becky's postcard. So I thought that was really cool. And so thank you. And you mailed yours a while ago too. And I just got it yesterday. And I'm assuming you still haven't gotten mine. So I don't know what, and we're probably the closest distance wise of all of the people that are doing postcards. I think Becky and I probably live the closest. But what Mary Lou say? Okay. You're sewing? Great. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Yeah, it's coming along. I don't work on it enough because I do other stuff. But once I start sewing, I find it so I find it so relaxing. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So this, I mean, look at this. This would be fine if this is sewn onto this journal. All of this busyness around is not going to bother it because it's going to stick out. And look, the greens match. It's coordinated. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm assuming, Becky, you haven't gotten mine. That's the assumption. So it'll come. It'll come. And I was reminding everybody that there will not be mail tomorrow because it's a federal holiday celebrating the emancipation of African Americans. So this will be June. So I have them all planned out. I don't want to lose those flowers. So, but I'm such a slow stitcher. I don't know that I'd want to. And of course, I have January and February in the other room. Yeah, I think it's fun, and I have the stuff. And you're right. This is gonna be pretty long. And I have a couple of these that I got in the Johnny Studio box. And I think this is what you wrapped yours around. If I'm not mistaken, Carol, you wrapped yours around something like this. And I could wrap mine around this. But this kind of is, I wonder if I kind of put these together like that to make it more even. You're going to do it. Oh, that's right. Oh, you're right. Yeah. She's going to do a book. I may want to do that too. But I'm not going to have as many because I only sent out 5. So I'm only going to have 5. How many did you end up sending out? 20? Yeah, you'll have a big book. I'll have to think about that. Well, I couldn't put 5, but the horse one has to go on because that one's just personal. You know what I mean? And I didn't follow the rules. I didn't know that 15. Okay. I didn't know that they had to be a certain orientation. I didn't read the rules. I just made, and one of mine is vertical and not horizontal, but somebody said they had to all be horizontal. So one of mine is not horizontal, it's vertical. But I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Good morning, Janice. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You could use one at the beginning. Oh, like a real scroll, like one of these things, and then open it up. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I'm sure I could find. Yeah, I've got postcards from times in the past that I could stick in the book. Yeah, that would be fun. Well, thank you for reminding me that. I kind of vaguely knew that. I don't know who it was, but someone was talking about the rules for the postcards, and that's when I realized, like a Torah. That's the word I was looking for, like a Torah. So like a Torah. I could march around the living room and recite my ex-husband is Jewish, and we did celebrated Shabbos every Friday night and sang and did Passover. And I have to say, I baked the most beautiful challah every Friday night, Shabbat. It was a beautiful braided loaf. It made 2 loaves, and I made challah every week for the Sabbath. And it was a good recipe. All right. What do you want to do? You want to see me cut up that book a little bit, or do you want to sew? I'm just saying. Any suggestions? Do you care? Does anybody care what I do? Sew, cut, glue. Sew, cut, glue. Sew, cut, glue. Nobody. Okay. All righty. So, thank you, Ruth. You old so and so. Well, I hope everybody is experiencing warm weather by now. Probably too warm, right? The extremes. We're in the 90s, but yeah, that's normal. That's what it's supposed to be in here in Florida. And well, actually, honestly, not really. It's not supposed to be that in the 90s this early in the season, but we had a big, rip roaring. So cut glue, so cut glue. I like them all too. I'll sew a little, then I'll glue a little, and then a rip roaring thunderstorm come through. But it was all thunder because it just passed south of us, so we didn't get. It hardly rained at all. The thunder was, that rolling thunder, that kind of thunder. Some thunder is really sharp in sound, and then you have that rolling thunder that just rumbles on and on and on and on. I think I like that. I like that thunder. I like the rolling thunder better than the short thunder, if that makes any sense. So, and JL gifted me. We've had, let's see, 2 days reprieve from heat. 70s. Oh my gosh. 70 is like dream. That is awesome. Lucky you. 70's nice. 75. Yeah. When you want sunny weather that's in the 75s. Oh, it's chilly in Rhode Island, huh? 55. That is chilly. And I tell when people say they love 70, 75 degree weather, I said, well, that's called California. I bought these needles, and they're on a magnet. It came on a magnet. Isn't that cute, Singer? Magnet. And they have a big eye. All the better to thread you with. All the better to see you with, or thread you with. All right, but I still have to use the cheater. I have to use the cheater. I should probably be in camera. That would be nice. And maybe zoom in a little bit, even though I'm not really zooming in. I'm just moving the the thingy. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I was watching Mike Deacon this morning to see whether he was doing something that I could do here on the stream. And it was something I could do, but not 10 minutes before I was supposed to stream. I could do something like that. He makes these really cool tags, but they're really, really big tags. Oh, 66, that's not bad in the morning. It'll probably warm up nicely. He makes tags that are about, I bet you they're 8 inches, maybe 10 inches by 5 inches. They're huge. I mean, they're oversized tags, and he made a template out of like heavy plastic, and he creates these beautiful tag books. But he did a mid-month mini mission inspiration. And if you have never 98, 97. That is high. And I'm assuming you're in Tennessee, very humid too. That's not dry heat. I'm assuming that's very humid. That's okay, Angie. You are a multitasker for sure. So let's start over here. And Carol's the one that introduced to me the concept of doing something like this without using a hoop. Is that what it's called? Oh, I got one of those things in the mail. Open immediately. We've been trying to reach you. Yeah, too bad. You've won, $1 million. I don't think so. You get those things in the mail? You know what I got the other day, that these they kind of creep me out because they scare me. You get a bogus bill from and said that your credit card's going to be billed, and you can call this number to cancel the subscription. But you don't want to call that number because it's bogus. Have any of you ever gotten those type of things? And it's like usually a substantial amount. I got one from McAfee, the software people, and I have McAfee as my software virus stuff, right? And it was a supposed subscription to them that was expiring, and that they were going to charge my credit card $347. But if I wanted to cancel it, I'd have to call this. It was an 888 number. And so what, I immediately go to my credit card. There's nothing there. It's bogus. But it's scary. And I've gotten several of those in the past. And fortunately, nothing's ever been charged to my credit card. So, but it's, but when you get something like that, it's, it's another couple of, you got to check it out. You got to, I go to look at my credit card to see if anything, has been charged to it. And it's just disconcerting. And sometimes, if you look at those emails very closely, sometimes, the company's logo is not just right. It's off, or the English is really bad, or there's just like a little something wrong with it that kind of gives you a hint that they're not legitimate. And I think these guys that do this, I guess they feel if they put a phone number, I guess someone said, maybe it was Becky, or someone said, whatever you do, don't call them, because then they feel that they've kind of snagged you. They're like, well, you know the term, it's called phishing. PHISH, phishing, where they're fishing for information. So you don't want to call the 888 number. Because I made that mistake. I called them once, and oh my God, it was such a sham. And the guy was arguing with me and said, no, you charge. And I don't know why I just didn't call the credit card company, because the credit card companies are really good about getting on top of that. I had something that happened a while ago, and I got a call from American Express and asked me, did you make this charge? And I said, no. And they said, well, we didn't think so, because it just didn't kind of match, what you do. And so they canceled that supposed subscription, and then sent me overnighted me a new card with a new number. But it's just, they're great, but they are. I see that Arlene never had a credit card, so when I get this, yeah, you can just giggle. Yeah. Well, I get ads all the time wanting me to get a credit card. Capital One. Oh my gosh. Probably every other week I get a thing from Capital One. You've been pre-approved. You can do this. You can go to the moon. The only reason I have American Express is it's a Delta American Express, so it's connected to Delta Airlines. So I get miles on Delta. And Delta is the only airline that flies direct nonstop from Orlando to Salt Lake City, where my son lives. So that's why I hooked into that, because it's where I travel. And so you get mileage and free baggage check and a couple of other perks. But the problem with the American Express is they charge you. And I feel really stupid sometimes having it, because there's so many free credit cards out there. It seems silly to pay for one. But since I hadn't traveled, and I charge everything on the American, everything. So, and typically it's usually for every $1 you get a mile. Sometimes there are promotions, you might get more than a mile. But because of COVID and other reasons, I hadn't traveled in a couple of years. So when I went out to Salt Lake City in March, I was able to fly first class just on my miles. Didn't pay anything at all, except I guess the tax or whatever. The credit card, well, yeah, that's true. So that was kind of nice. But now, I don't have any miles left. I wiped it out completely. It'll take me another 10 years to get that many miles. But that's okay. At least I got one free ride. I'm sorry. I'm out of. It's when you get sewing like this, you kind of lose where you are in terms of what you people are seeing. But you're all having a nice. Hello, Elise. Is it Elise? Yes. Good morning. Lovely to see you on this sunny, hot. Becky, that does make a difference when I saw you outline. I believe if you can't buy for things, yeah. Well, Angie, I've never charged anything on a credit card that I can't pay for in full. They've never gotten. No, they've never gotten a cent out of me in that regard. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that. Do I? I'll go down here, kind of sneak up over here. That was not good planning, but that's okay. When Becky outlined her flowers, they just popped, and this really is making a big difference. And if you do like big stitches, it doesn't really take that long. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm not happy with how my bubble wrap came out, even though I used it 3 ways. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I was thinking about that. How would you use bubble wrap 3 ways? Hi, Crafty Karen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So nice to see you. And my subscriber rate is going up too. Since I've been using the subscriber only, after yesterday's, basically impromptu stream, I picked up another 7 subscribers. I'm just very thrilled with that. If anybody was in Janet Young's stream on Monday, oh my God, they were relentless. It was awful. And people told her about subscriber only, and she said she was going to look into it. And my contention is, and I could be totally wrong, but people think, well, YouTube has to do something about it. Well, I feel that YouTube has already done something about it. And what they've done about it is having that subscriber only option. Hi, Johnny. Good morning. Nice to see you. I'm doing a little slow stitching on my canvas that we made at Aunt Beck's on Wednesday. And Aunt Beck's is going to make a pattern of sorts, and then we're going to cut these up and make a little something or other. I think that's about, is that correct, Aunt Beck's? We're going to make something. Look at that. How lucky am I with that? That kind of. So I'm just stitching around some flowers that I did. Let's see, yummy. What are you eating? That's so yummy. The bots? Are the bots delicious? I don't think so. Yeah, I picked up, yeah, it said, yeah, seven subscribers. Ooh, pineapple upside down cake. Now there's an oldie but goodie. That's a recipe from the past. Well, you made pineapple muffins because you didn't have blueberries. That sounds good too. My one of my friend's mother that I grew up with, my little threader thing fell on the floor. I wouldn't have known it fell on the floor except that I heard it hit the floor. Mrs. Griffith, that was her name, Mrs. Griffith, and she made the most beautiful, luscious pineapple upside down cake. And it was so pretty when she would, flip it over, and there it would be, you have all those beautiful rings of pineapple with the maraschino cherries, and it would be all so moist and gooey. And she would make that on special occasions. I've always remembered her pineapple upside down cake. I've never made one myself, but it's a goodie. YouTube benefits from the same way they do with the bots. Yep. Absolutely. I was thinking that too, Arlene, that there's got to be money involved, and it's got to be to the advantage of YouTube. Yeah, we had those other bots. Remember the other bots that we thought were awful that turned out not to be awful? The ones that would just be a series of numbers and some weird initials. And they were all over the place. But these, especially the sexual content ones and the Tinder, I mean, that's an actual dating service. It was actually mentioned in a TV show that I was watching, where the ex-wife was given the ex-husband made some comment to him about, are you on Tinder again? I'm thinking, Tinder, oh my gosh, those are the bots that are in our streams. I had them in my blocked group, but apparently even if you block them on your block, when you go into your YouTube thing, and you can block, addresses, links, and stuff like that, I inadvertently unblock them. Duh. And now I haven't been able to go back in and reblock them. But you're supposedly able to. Have you gone back? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. but it's the same. It's this. I've looked at it. I haven't availed myself of their services. I'm a little too old for that. Well, no one's ever too old. But if you see their website and the way the font is and the print is on that, it's the same as the stuff that's popping up in our streams. So it's got to be. And I'm assuming they just changed something or other so they can keep on reappearing. But that's my take on all of that. I don't think YouTube's going to do anything other than allowing subscriber only option. And and I don't know, has the subscriber only option been there I mean, it's not a new option. I love it. I'd rather be crafting than dating. Me too. Me too. Good point, Karen. Right on. Right on. That is so true. With crafting, you really feel that you've accomplished something. And you learn stuff. Well, I learn stuff all the time by watching all the other crafters out there. And look how wide this... Did I say good? I did say good morning to you. I hope I said good morning to you, Mrs. Gigi. If I didn't, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Mrs. Gigi was the winner of the Where in the World is My Package game last week. I was thinking about how to end the game instead of, once you get over to England and you go through customs, right? And then you have those countries, and then your packages, and I didn't do that, but the packages would be labeled what country they're going to. And then what I thought I would do is that you would have to roll the dice and say to get into Portugal, you'd have to roll of, let's say, doubles, or you'd have to roll the 6 or whatever. And then you'd wait. And when your turn came around, you'd roll the dice and you'd roll the dice until you got the right combination. And then you'd enter that country. And then you do that for each one of your packages. And once you got all your packages in those prospective countries, then you would win. So in the meantime, someone else could get over there, you know what I'm saying? So there'd be an opportunity. Johnny, not sure how long, but I'm on for a comment. I started using sub only because of people taking... Oh, wow. Okay, so subscriber only's been around for a while. Okay. Wow. So people would just come in and steal his stuff by taking a screenshot. People are such sleazeballs. And we were talking about glue yesterday, and you know what? I have run out of glue. I only have one stick, one little of these left, and I have one of those big Scotch. So I went on Amazon, and I usually buy a case of this size and a case of the big size. They no longer have the big size. So I was disappointed in it. So I ordered this, but they didn't, and I ended up ordering, I don't know how that's going to, I ended up ordering the school version of it, that's purple and then dries clear. So we'll see. I know Rosemary Morris has been using the purple that dries clear. And she said the nice thing about using the purple is you can see, what you've covered with the glue. which is kind of helpful because sometimes you can't really see whether you've gotten everything covered. So I was wondering if junk journal shop all done. I don't understand. I missed something there. I'm enjoying putting all that sewing stuff together. Now, guys, I'm going to ask, and I know we have a lag. Catitude morning. Yes. Good morning, Stacy. Do you take cat a day pictures and post them like Dee Dee does? And Becky does too. I never think to do that. Because I only have one cat. And, you know, one cat is not as interesting as multiple cats. Multiple cats are a lot funner. Oh, okay. So we're all kind of stitching. It is relaxing. And for me, this is, I can do this without having to think too hard. You have 12 cats? Okay. That's a lot of cats. You should get one more, then you could have a baker's dozen. Ha, 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 ha. How many kitty litter? I always want to know. How many kitty litter boxes do you have for 12 cats? That's a lot. Kitty litter's a problem, isn't it? Have any of you seen the ad for that new type of, no, and this is a weird conversation. Have any of you seen the ad for the new kitty litter? It's like a white crystal thing, and I'm so tempted to try it. But I haven't seen how much it costs. Oh, half are inside outside cats. Oh, that's good. That looks good. It's getting there. I always end up in the wrong space, and now I have to go under and over and come up over here, but that's okay. I think I'll just do this one flower, and then we can move on to something, a little something. We'll do a little something different. I'll just come down here, and I will pop up over here. How about like right there? Bingo. Like magic, right? This is, I'm sewing on, this is painter's canvas drop cloth. And I bought a 6 by 8. Oh no, maybe it was an 8 by 5. 8 by 5 piece of canvas. It's a big honker piece of canvas. And it's a very, as you can see, it's a very coarse canvas. And I've cut it up into manageable pieces. It's very versatile. I have an embroidery book that I bought that has a lot of plans in the back, like not plans, patterns. And to make, you can make little purses and eyeglass cases and pin cushions and all sorts of things. I made a pin cushion, but it's very, very rough. But I made it out of this canvas, and again, a lot of French knots and flowers. And then I glued it, I stitched it onto a wooden, this was the cover to a candle. And I stuffed it with this kind of stuff. Yeah, I could. I'll have to check, Becky, to see whether this piece is big enough for that. And I'll have to show it to you. If it works, I will send you a picture of it, okay? Yeah, I did make the tea cozy. That I love the tea cozy. I really do. I really should make one for my daughter-in-law because she's a big tea drinker. Oh, speaking of my daughter-in-law, Carol has a friend, MBA. I don't even know his name. He's a woodworker and he has a woodworking company. And he makes these beautiful, I don't even know. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading Janice's. This is, you tried the crystals and hated it. They didn't like it either. Okay, all righty. So she wasn't crazy about that. Okay. I don't know what you call this, but he made Carol. It's a yarn ball, I guess. Good morning, Jasper. Wonderful to see you. He made a yarn bowl, not ball, a yarn bowl, and it's about yay big. I've seen pictures of it because I ordered one for my daughter-in-law for Christmas. It's about yay big, about yay high. You know, yay, 6 inches is a yay. I don't know what a yay is. And he made it out of what he called quilted wild cherry wood. It is, and it's a bowl that he has scooped out with a lathe. It's been sanded and polished, and he cuts a slit in it with a little hole at the end of it, like a slit. And so you put your ball of yarn in the bowl, and then you put the string of the yarn, string through that little slit so you can, knit, and then the yarn stays put. And so I commissioned him to make one, and what a wonderful gentleman to work with, so conscientious. Sent me pictures all along the way to make sure I was happy with it, and he finished it, and it's being mailed. And now my problem is I don't know whether I can wait until Christmas to give it to Alex. I want to give it to her now, but I will wait, because I said something to my son. I said, I'm assuming Alex is still knitting because Alex has taken up pottery. And he said, oh, yeah, she's knitting a lot. So I know she's going to like it. And she loves stuff that's handcrafted and made in the United States. So I know she's going to go nuts about it. And MBA says, he doesn't really advertise, but by word of mouth. Okay. Oh, there's his, okay. Mountain. Yep. Crafters. Thank you, Beck. But highly recommend him. Check out it's the name of the company. It's Southwood something. Oh, I can fill that in. Maybe I'll have to stitch that in. But do you mind if I keep going? I just want to finish this flower, and then we'll go do something else if we have time. Let me just finish that. Let me get where's the yarn? But he said, oh, you do pottery, Jasper? Oh, awesome. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. Where she lives, or where she does her pottery, is do I have that? Did I take that out? They have a weekend getaway. They have a weekend getaway home in Cape Cod. Oh, there it is. But during the week, they live in Watertown, which is outside of Boston. They both work in the Boston area. My son works in Cambridge, and she works outside of Boston. And but up in Cotuit is the name of it. Cotuit is the name of the town. There's a communal kiln. And so she hooked up with these people. She'd never done pottery before. And the deal is that, you volunteer, you put a couple of hours in at the kiln, cleaning up or whatever, and then you can use the kiln. So she's now doing pottery. And they came down last year and she brought me a couple of pieces that she made when she first started. But she's doing, oh man, she's really doing a beautiful job. She wants my son to maybe get into the chemistry part of it in terms of making the well, they're not dyes, but you know, whatever you put on the, hi Calico, Kathy, yes, you were here yesterday. What? Whiskey barrels, that's amazing. Neighbor has a son who makes guitars out of whiskey barrels for a lot of stars. Oh, wow. People are so creative. Glazes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. She was hoping that he might get into the glaze, you know, develop glazes, because he's a scientist, I guess you would say. Yeah, he's a scientist. He's not a rocket scientist, but he's a scientist. Surface chemistry. That's what his PhD is in, surface chemistry. And people go, well, what's surface chemistry? And the best way I can describe surface chemistry is think of something like Teflon. That's kind of what surface chemistry is. But now he is in cancer research. And he can bicycle to work. That's how close he is to his office. Yes, minimal glazes are fun to see. Oh, okay. All righty. Yeah, I guess real minerals would really, yeah. So there's a lot of chemistry in the glazes. Isn't that what Timmy has now? He has something that's a embossing glaze, because I have those. I watched. Did anybody see Timmy's new color that he rolled out Saturday? I didn't see the live stream. I saw the replay. But he's got a new color out. Yes, it is. And of course, that movie. I love the movie. Is it Ghost? Is that the movie where she's making the pottery with Patrick Swayze? That was a good movie. Yes, you want to come on, Bex? I'll send you a link. Absolutely. Do you want to come on? Say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, great. Okay. I'm inviting you. I'm going to get, and this is the one thing about StreamYard I love. It's so easy to bring people on. Let's see. I guess you're under, is it Aunt Bex Creations or Becky? Let me see. There you are. Send. Okay. It's on its way. Yes, the Japanese, yeah. And have you seen the Japanese how they repair something that's broken with gold? And there's a name for that, obviously. And they end up, there she is. All righty. And there's a name for that, obviously. Good morning, Aunt Bex.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Loud and clear. You are fine. It's all good. I can see you. I can hear you. I see a pair of hands. One hand. Two hands. Oh, look at that.
That's from Sharon
That's
Lombard.
from Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Her Konomi.
I love him.
He's so cute.
I just need to grab my chat off YouTube. Let me pop you guys out and bring you over.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you came in.
Let's see
Oh,
here.
you have to be okay. Well, Arlene, I'm so glad you were here. And you stayed so
Hi,
long.
Arlene.
Yeah. I'm sorry you have to do some adult things.
Well, I didn't sleep last night because our schedule's so messed up. We decided we're just going to sleep when our body wants to sleep and be awake. So I went to bed at like 6:30 last night and woke up at 10:44 and thought it was morning.
Oh God.
So I accidentally took my morning meds, except for the ones that I have to have food on my stomach for, which I need to go take those. But
Right.
yeah, so I was up all night. So I made the file folder journal like you had done. You told us how to cut them, and then I never figured out how to put them together. So I just kind of used them the way I wanted to use them and came up with this little journal.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Let me get rid of that focus thing because that's
Jeez.
driving me bonkers.
That's hard. When your body's I've done that. I mean, not that extreme. But by going to bed really early, but then woken up and it's like, oh my gosh, now what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Oh, and then at 3 a.m. I made those muffins. So this is a little journal I came up with. I still want to put something on the back to cover all this up.
No, that's not how you make it.
But
let me wait. Whoa. There you go. Now we can see it. Oh, that's cool. And that's just with the manila folders, yeah.
Try to figure out where I need to be.
Yeah. And then you have that's like the one that I made from Ava. Is that but you made it out of manila folders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you had said something about you had used I can't remember how many folders you said you used, but I had prepared. I divided in half to make 2 smaller ones.
Right.
So I still got another stack of folders ready to go. And I just grabbed a random paper pad because I've been trying to figure out ways to use up all these paper pads because they just sit over there because I don't use them anymore.
Right.
So I'm just going to start making little journals. And so I still have to make tags, but there's pockets.
Oh yeah, that's the Joggles. That's the Joggles one. I that was the woman from Joggles, whoever runs Joggles.
Yeah.
That's where I learned that. Yeah. And she filled it all with Timmy stuff. Yeah, that came out nice.
Well, I'm just using what I have.
Yeah, right.
But Scott thought it was pretty cool.
That's a good idea. Ava is doing 1-sheet scrapbook paper videos where she takes one 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper and makes something.
Yeah. In fact, I shared a link to this little teeny journal that you make with 1 sheet of paper. It's really, and it folds up into like a little envelope.
Yes. And then she made this little purse. She made this was 1 piece. So you have this thingy.
We can only see me, Ann.
Okay, I'll show it later. I think I've showed it. All right.
Well, I'm just going to flip through and then you can bring yourself back.
Let me see. That's pretty. Wow.
This was all 1 paper pad, and I think it had something to do with travel. So if we go on some random trip, here's a thing I didn't ink.
Scott thought it was cool. Even though those are kind of odd pages, but to see them in that layout, they work.
Yeah. There's some trimming I need to do. Some old cars. And a map of the United States.
That is so awesome. Would you make the cover? What is the cover out? What is the cover made out of? Is that another folder?
No, it's cardboard.
Okay.
Recycled or chipboard rather. It's a piece of chipboard I cut down.
And you covered it with black, obviously black construction paper?
Yeah, you know me. I covered all of the inside because when I glued this on, I wanted to glue all of it down instead of having a pocket, just to make the cover stay on better. So you can't put anything in here.
Okay.
I'll just decorate around that or something. So they know, you know, can't put anything in it. But
the black
that was
is perfect.
fun. And then I've got my stitching here. I'll just show it real quick. I'm still stitching on flowers.
Yeah. I love that. I love the denim. That's so cool.
And I'll be adding beads and stuff once I figure out our pattern, which I need to work on that some. So now you can bring yourself back and show.
Oh, I broke my, well, I think I showed it the other day. This is, let's see.
Oh, Allie has a question.
Yes. Oh, it's for you.
When we cut these out, once you sew your seam across it, just handle it carefully while you're doing the cutting. But what I do is I take the pattern pieces and I'll turn the fabric over, and then I'll just set my pattern piece down on here, and then I'll take a marker, a Sharpie, and just trace around where I'm going to cut it out. Then I can kind of see where I need to leave seam allowances, and then I know where I can stitch on the front. So I do all the additional stitching before I cut the pieces out. So you leave it all in one piece, then you cut it out and sew it. And that little bit of time that you're going to be working with it, the stitching won't go very far, and all of it gets caught in the seams of the bag. Let me get my other bag real quick, and I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, because I was totally confused.
I'll just pour out what's in here. There we go. So see, this was just like the denim. And right here, you can see I cut right through lace and everything. And all of that is held back in place now because of the seam line. And across the bottom. I didn't put any where the bottom was because you're not going to see the beading there. But here again, I had stitched on some lace. And then when I stitched the bag together, it just locks it all back in place. So I just put the beading on the bigger sides. Like there's some beads there and there. As long as you stay away from where that seam line needs to be, you're fine. Okay. But I do all of that beading and stuff before I cut it out. And the blacks are on the back of the fabric. So it'll be encased because I always line too. Like that with something, just a plain cotton lining, even a piece of muslin for your line would be good. So this is a fun bag to make. I just was going to try to do one that didn't have a zipper because not everybody likes to do zippers. They get nervous about them because you can sew over a plastic zipper. A metal zipper will either break your needle or break your sewing machine. So I thought, let's do something maybe with a flap. I myself despise Velcro. I absolutely hate that stuff. I would rather do a buttonhole or a hand sewn snap.
Buttons would be good, or a snap, or magnets. Magnets probably not.
So I'm thinking something like just an over the shoulder kind of bag. And what we might do is we might just make a bag that'll stand on its own like this, and then just put loops on the sides where you could hook a strap of some sort to it. I need to look and see. I think I have some straps in my stash back in the day, I'll say, at Joann's and Hobby Lobby. They always had a handbag creative center where they would sell the straps with the little clips on them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that way you could change them from bag to bag. So what we'll do is we'll just put something we can clip on here, and then we might have to make our own handle or strap out of something. Even a recycled belt or something you pick up at the Goodwill, that could work if
That
you
would
had the
work
right
too, yeah.
tools. So that's how you deal with the embroidery and everything. If you cut through it and then you just quickly sew your bag together, it'll catch all of that.
Now, you said you're going to bead it? I thought you weren't supposed to bead it until after it was cut out.
You don't have, if you take and you put your pattern piece on the back and trace around it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Then you can cut it out if you want to. My only concern is if we're doing all this additional embroidery,
right.
If you cut through that and then you're handling it to do all this bead work,
it might come on.
It might undo on you farther than you want it to. So and it's marked on the back, so you can tell.
Okay.
Where you need to stay
that.
away
Have
from.
the pattern will be on the back.
Yeah, right? We're going to trace it out.
Then you can add beads away from the seam. You'll know where to put the beads.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Gotcha. Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah, because like right here, I would put the beads just in the center area. If the bag sides are out here, right. I would do it just in the center. And I might try to make sure my pattern piece is centered with something kind of toward the middle or just off to the right or the left. We can move our pattern pieces around on the back because you can see what you've got.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
We'll work on that Wednesday.
Okay. All right. And I'll get out that pattern that's in the back of that book and take a look at that too.
Yeah, just see if you've got enough space, because I mean, you might as well.
Yeah. Because I don't remember.
Yeah, I have that same book, thanks to you.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can look at that pattern then too. I love that book.
It's a pretty cool book.
It's a pretty book. All right.
And I've been using this anchor thread that I got at Joann's on the spools, but I've been using all 6 of the strands. My fingers are stained with that ink, but it really gives it
doing all of the strands because it really
it pops
bold. Yeah, and you can notice it, and when you do like the chain, I mean, you can really see, when you do the.
Yep.
Because look how bold look how that flower came out. You can really.
Great. Now, if you wanted to, you could use your ink tints and color your flower in.
I could. I was thinking the same thing. I do have the ink tints, but now I feel committed. If I did one, how could you not do the others? And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear, 7, 8.
Yeah, I've got a lot. They're hiding. That's why I said I'm going to do something.
Mine weren't hiding, but I just like the way it looked when you sewed yours. Because mine, because I don't have denim. I've got, canvas.
Yeah.
So, and I did these twirly little twirly things here. See, I've got some fabric that is it's sewn down, but it's a little flappy. And I thought to finish like this is flappy. But what I was planning on doing, if I can, I would finish that off with some beads across here.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of holding that down, add some beads there.
Oh, and Carol said you could do some just random flowers too.
Oh, yeah. And that way you wouldn't associate that with these flowers. You would have, I understand that. Yeah. Yeah, this is ink tense. I painted this red here is ink tense. And man, that's really intense. And it didn't really lighten. I mean, I did that over the gesso.
Yeah, that's how I did those hearts.
All right. Well, that's what I got the idea. You're the inspiration.
The inspiration.
And the black dots. Yeah, it's fun. Very fun. Fun.
Well, I'm just going to stitch on this, and you can, do stitching or move on to something else if you want to.
Yeah. I think I might just harvest some. I'll use the rest of this thread. I'll start another flower and go as far as, let's see, where's the closest flower? Well, I should end this and not go all the way across. You almost have the flower on the back. Pretty.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know I was going to ask, and I don't know whether any. And this is just a yes or no. My question to the group is, would you want to watch me attach those signatures into my sewing journal, or would you rather me do that offline and then come back, or you want to watch the real struggle live? Because I'm assuming most of you know how to do that, but would you be interested in watching me? Because I figured I'm at a point where I want to attach. I think I want to attach the signatures and then continue to, decorate, embellish the pages.
I would say go ahead and do it myself, because
Online
everybody
or-
likes to watch people put books together.
Yes. Oh, they do or not? Yeah.
Because everybody takes it, has a little bit different take on
How to do that? Yeah.
different techniques. So
Yeah. Okay. Next week. Is Carol leaving? Everyone's saying bye, Carol. Take care. Yes. Thank you, Carol, for being here. And thank you for sharing, pushing out, telling people that I was on, because I always do a lousy job of that.
oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's not what I meant to do.
I'm not good at that.
Let's back
Yeah,
up.
Carol's
There we
got
go. Fixed it.
She's not feeling up to par. So glad
Oh,
that she
bird.
could come in for a little bit. So I take it Scott's still sleeping because he's probably still.
No, he's in his recliner. He's been watching all these history, World War II or World War One
Okay.
videos here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a fun channel for him to watch then. I'll have to send you the link.
Okay.
They're short, and it's called Sarcastic History.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's something that I know Scott would enjoy. I mean, because
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's real history, and it's obscure history. Because I love the obscure, the stuff that no one really remembers or was taught.
Yeah.
Like the pastry wars. My son found it, and my oldest grandson watches it all the time. So he's watching this history channel, but they're very well done. I'll have to get the exact
My
name.
sister was talking about the fact that she likes to put time team
On when she's throwing pottery,
and then when they mention pottery,
the wheel comes to a stop, and she has to watch.
Oh my gosh.
I'm supposed to go to lunch with her, I think on Tuesday. And my youngest sister, Rhonda, is in Kansas City doing the AP reading scoring.
Right.
She said she sent us a message that she might not be able to make it Tuesday because they were talking about they were going to have to keep everybody there longer to grade the test, because
she's an official reader. That's right. She's an AP reader.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have special training to do that.
So she said she might not be able to come,
Yeah.
but Robin wants us to go to this place near her house called fire and something. Let's see. But I could see if she could let me do a short video of her little studio room.
Oh, yes, you talked about that. I think everybody would love to see that.
I might talk to her advance so that she could, like,
Right.
you know, have it not look like the wreck that a pottery room usually is.
Elise, you want to see the embroidery book that Becky and I were talking about? Because I have it right here, if that's what you want to
Yeah.
see.
I'm pretty sure that's what she's wanting to see.
Okay.
It's a beautiful book, Elise. I have it too, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
what I did with it. It's called Fire and Spice, is the name of the restaurant we're supposed to go to on Tuesday.
So I will Robin. She was taking some pottery to an SBA event yesterday in the hopes of selling stuff, and still supposed to be lifting much, but hopefully her did heavy lifting for her.
2 embroidery books, and they're both very different, but this is because it's going to be major glare. Let's see if I can't move out a little bit. Oops. Oh, just lost my needle. It's called the Embroidered Country Garden. And they have, you know, they've got all the basics. If you're just getting into embroidery, they have all of the basics about even making your own hoop and different needles. So they've got all the technical stuff, all the, you know, the yarns, the floss, and the glossary of all the terms again. So if you've never done it before and you're not familiar with all of the terminology, then it's all in here. And then they have, this is the pin cushion. Now, obviously my pin cushion doesn't look like that, but that's the pin cushion. Actually, there's 2 pin cushions in here, and a little pencil case. And let me see if I can't, needle case. And then they have the eyeglass case. And then they have the when you go to use that, they have the stitch guide, what the stitches are and what colors you need to use. So they break it all down. And
Isn't that where you got your little rabbit?
No, I was going to show the rabbit came out of the other one.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you that one too. Here are the patterns. Well, let me see if I can't find a picture of that little purse, so you can. Well, you know what it looks. But they have the breakdown. Let's see. This is neat. This is a scrap thing that you make this and weight this, and you can have it hanging over your table. You put your scrap in that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's called a thread catcher.
Yep. Those are handy to have by your sewing machine.
Yeah, and that's a pretty one. Let's see.
If you had a sewing friend that close by, the little thing for on the table plus the pin cushion would make a cute little gift set. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Is that it? No, I don't think so. See, they have these drawstring things, but I don't think that's it. Let's see. Oh, it's a tote. This is it. Isn't that cute, though?
Oh, yeah.
That is adorable. It's got a big button on it. I like that. I could see what we did turned into something like that, depending on how big it is. See, it's hard to tell because this could be really small.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a lilac. Here it looks big. I like the fastener on it. You see the fastener on it, Beck? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. See, a little tab like that with a button?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would work.
Mm-hmm. And we could make a square bottomed bag That would
Yep,
be
this
nice.
is
Just
good.
a little
This
one
is a
that would
flat
hold
bottom, yeah.
maybe a wallet.
Let me see what the dimensions are on that. Well, I don't think, yeah, we don't have enough. It doesn't really have the, this is the base for it, so you can see that that's pretty big. And then you have your front and back. So I don't think that.
That
This
one's got a rounded bottom then, instead
It's
of
an
a squared
oval-
off one.
A
an
squared
oval
off
bottom,
one would
and
be
it
much
makes it
easier.
Much smaller. At least this piece of fabric, and it doesn't really tell you how much fabric you need, and there's no really inches. So I guess you would just lay this out on a piece of fabric, and then
Well, it probably says in the instructions how much fabric you would need.
yeah. I don't see it. Oh boy, this is like folding a map. Oh boy. Did I get it? I don't know. Oh, I guess I did get it. Okay. Well, maybe, kind of. No, I don't think these pieces that we're working on now are not big enough.
Okay. Well, I'll draw something up.
Yeah. I'm not that you couldn't take this and make it much smaller, I guess. But I'm
Yeah.
not, yeah, you're the one that could do that, not I.
Well, you could put it on your scanner and reduce the size.
Yeah.
You know, like tell it you want to do like 75%, and that would bring it down.
Bring it down. Yeah.
And just make a copy from your original.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to scan this because it's too big to get into my. I don't really have a scan. You know, I do
No,
have,
just each individual pattern piece. Is it bigger?
yes. Yes, I could do that. Absolutely. Duh. Yes, I could do each individual piece. That's yeah. We could play with it that way. Yeah. But this has okay. And then there's the other one that I got that is, I've gotten so many things.
I have that one too. That's because of Carol.
Measure from solid line to solid line. Okay. Hi, Deb. Good morning. Nice to see you. Yeah, this one is another phenomenal kind of. They've got all sorts of neat stuff in here. And again, directions and plans. And this is Mary Lou liked this one because this is real big. You know, the illustrations for the stitches are real big. And this is where I did get my bunny. I did a rabbit on my scroll because there was a rabbit in my yard, and we did like what's in your yard, and I live in Florida, so I have a palm tree, and I got the plan for the palm tree out of this book. And then there was a bunny rabbit that was on my patio, so I stitched the bunny rabbit, and I got the kind of the outline for that out of this book. And this bunny rabbit was lying down like in the garden, like in the hedge area, and she's got little titties, so it's a mama bunny.
You got baby bunnies somewhere.
Could have baby bunnies. Yeah, I haven't seen her. I usually see her every morning when I'm having my coffee, but Yeah, because on the side of my house are all of these bushes and gigantic rosemary bush, huge rosemary bush, gigundo. And actually, when there's a hurricane and it's blowing and raining so hard that you can actually smell the rosemary
Oh, wow.
taking you through the car wash. Okay. So then they have all of the stitches, and then they have, this is where I got the French knot. And then they have all the symbols, and they have the zodiac, and they get some really neat stuff in here. And fish and spiders and eggs. And I got the bunny out of here. I know I did. And I got the plant too, because they had the well, look, there's sage. I did the mushroom. Look at that. And then if you read it, there's the palm. See, so that's what I used. And then I sewed in the trunk to the palm tree, but that's what I used the two different colors when I did the palm tree on my scroll. This book is very helpful. Look at this beautiful scene. Wouldn't that be cool to do? It's just like a river and mountains and lightning and hands. No, this is a really cool one. It'd be fun to, I mean, people used to embroider jeans, but that's really cool. You could do that type of embroidery down your jeans.
Mm-hmm. Now they call it visible mending.
Visible mending. Huh.
It's a thing now. Visible mending. It's all over Pinterest.
Is it? Well, I
said, I wish I had my grandmother's jeans that she used to wear. Let me grab a picture of my grandmother, and I'll show you what I mean.
Angie's singing the car wash song. I can hear it. I can hear you, Angie. I can hear it. It's going to be an earworm. All right, Angie.
See, there's my grandmother's greenhouse.
Let me make you big. Wait a minute. Let me make you big.
This was right before she got sick. And I took this picture and the flash went off and she turned around and called me a gall darn idiot.
Gall darn idiot.
And then the last time I went to New York, the whole greenhouse had collapsed in on itself. Oh, and she raised amaryllis from seed. See that? Oh, I'll get it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at them. Those are gorgeous.
Holy, I'm trying to find a picture of her with her jeans. And the only thing she ever drove was a lawn tractor. She never drove. Here's Grandma's jeans. See, I wish I had those to decorate for her.
Oh, man, to die for.
And if in this picture here, that black glob right there is my horse.
You're a horse.
His name was Smokey.
Smokey. You had a horse.
He'd come and wait for her to pull weeds and throw them at him, and he would eat them.
So you wanted to go to Paris, and I wanted a horse.
Nah. I never thought I'd ever go anywhere overseas. Never have been, so I probably won't get to travel like that.
No. See, if Ruth wants to please ask about size. What size is it? That was a long time. I'm sorry, Ruth. I don't know what size. I don't think we have a size.
Oh.
Do you know?
What did she ask? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. It's a while ago. That's why I'm just going back. It was from Janet saying Ruth wanted to know the size, and I'm not sure.
Measure from solid line to solid line.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
The bag. What she's saying is you could just measure that with your measuring tape, because what you see there is what you're going to cut out, and that would tell you the size.
Yeah, and I do solid line to solid line. Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, she says, forget it. You covered it already.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you, Deb.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's gorgeous, as they would say. Gorgeous, gorgeous,
I'm just going
gorgeous.
to do the lazy daisies here and there in groups of 3.
Yeah, I like that.
And I might put some.
Good morning, Secret Squirrel Amy. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, Beck is working on.
We're going to make a bag with this eventually. We did this Wednesday night.
Yes. Well, this was. Well, this was. We've worked on it now twice, haven't we? Tuesday and Wednesday, I think.
I don't know.
No,
It's all
we
running
didn't get
together.
all that done.
Well, we worked on it some in our crafting chat.
Yes.
And
I
then
thought
I did it Wednesday night.
You did it Wednesday night. And I thought we did it one other. No, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Yep.
Another time we did some painted fabric. In fact, I've got that somewhere.
Yeah, I have that somewhere too. But this is much more extensive because we've added other stuff to it.
Janice, it's not really big enough for that.
Yeah.
Mine's only like, what is mine? I wrote down everybody's measurements here somewhere.
It's almost a fat quarter. I mean, it's in that.
Yeah,
range.
it's not a big piece. It's like 18 by 24 or less, or
Yeah.
somewhere around there. So it's not a huge piece. I mean, the whole thing is like there to there.
No, I don't think you can make an apron unless you weighed about maybe an apron for a 6-year-old.
Child.
Yeah, they're not that big. Mine is, I think I meant it's like 20. Yeah, it's like a fat quarter, which is what,
What is that?
22 by, no, it's 18 by 22. Is that, we just established that's the, I think you explained how that's. It does look huge on the screen. It does look big. But they're not.
They're not huge. It's just, it's got a lot going on it.
Yeah. It does.
And I have to maneuver to get where I need to.
Well, I think I will take this guy right off the get-go. Oh, you're going to be that way. What did you do? This is glued. Holy mackerel. Maybe they don't want you harvesting pictures. I'll take the seal. I'll take you one seal and raise you. Let's see. He would be good for a. And I like that. I like that sentiment too, for your well-being, right? That could be put on a journal for your well-being. I'm just going to throw this on the floor. Pick it up. Man, I think I like her too. Krista. Oh, no. Krista's.
I think Scott and I are going to make a grocery run after a little
I
bit.
did that yesterday. I hate it so much. And, and I know I could have it delivered. And I don't know why I don't bother. I don't know why I don't do that. Because
I didn't for the longest time. And then it's kind of convenient when, you feel short on time to just pop an order in and let them go get it and everything.
Right.
But I think we'd like to get out today. And
yeah.
Greg bought a bunch of groceries, so I have to make sure I have room for stuff before I buy it. But I need blueberries because we put that on our oatmeal.
Oh yeah. Now, do you buy frozen? I mean, now you can buy them, but do you buy them frozen too, so you can have them? You just
Oh
sprinkle
yeah,
them?
I just buy frozen ones
Yeah.
for my muffins and oatmeal, and
Because they taste. I mean, the frozen ones are really very good. They're very flavorful because they're they're flash frozen when they're.
Yeah, we had on the farm, we had a freezer and it had a flash freeze. Inside the freezer, there was a box that would flash freeze everything. And
Oh,
my
wow.
grandmother would line the strawberries up on a cookie sheet, slide them in there, and they would flash freeze. And then you could put them in one of those freezer boxes, and they would never stick together.
Because they were individually frozen. There's a word for that. Something IFC, individually frozen. Yeah, yep. Because I've done that. I've taken them and put them on a cookie sheet and stuck them in the freezer, but not flash, and they would freeze in the normal whatever, and then put them in a baggie.
yeah.
Like when they're on sale.
That's one thing I miss about upstate New York. There was a family that had wild blueberry bushes all over their property, and you could go and pick, and they'd let you pick. And they were tiny little blueberries.
Yeah, the wild ones are
Itty bitty
tiny.
ones.
Yep. They're about the size of a blueberry.
Well, these were really tiny compared to the ones Grandma grew. I mean, the ones my grandmother grew were like that big around. They were huge. And I would have to help her rescue birds that got under the netting. And
oh yeah.
Because we put netting on them to keep the birds off them, so we could have the blueberries, not the birds.
Not the birds, yeah. And we had where my in-laws were, they had blueberry bushes. And we used to pick the blueberries. It was hard to get enough to do anything with because we'd be eating them as fast as we were picking them.
Exactly.
But they have, they have strawberry, places where you can go and pick them. And you buy a bat, you buy them. You pay to be able to pick them.
Pay for the bucket or whatever it is.
Whatever, basket. A peck. You remember all those measurements? How many pecks are in a bushel? And how many pints are in a peck? I used to know all that stuff. I think there's 4 pecks in a bushel.
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long since I've had to
2
use it.
pints
It's
2 pints
evaporated.
In a peck, 4 pecks in a bushel. I could be wrong though. Don't remember. And then there's the tongue twister, right?
How many
pecks? How many bushels? No, pepper. How many
pickled peppers did Peter Piker pick or something? Peter
Sally.
That was it. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? And you're supposed to say it like 6 times fast.
Right. There you go.
That's your lesson of the day.
Yeah. And Ruth says that her robins are eating her strawberries before she can get in them at the morning.
No.
Oh, wow.
Love the robins, but leave my berries alone.
Yeah, please. Absolutely. Well, I have the squirrels eating the
strawberry flowers.
The hibiscus flowers off the bush. I mean, I was watching them. They're eating the bottom. They're not eating the flower. They're eating the bottom of the flower that the flower kind of grows out of. It's like the bud. There's the bud and the flower grows out. Because you can see the flowers dropped all on the ground. And I watched one the other day because when I sit at my table, I mean, the squirrel is literally, I don't know, 3 feet away from me. That's how close he is, And so that's what they're doing. And they nibble all around that. And then they just drop the flower on the ground.
We had a tulip poplar tree by our driveway before it fell on my son's truck in a shearing windstorm. But the squirrels, they have like, it looks like a tulip, and it's a yellow flower with a kind of an orange stripe around the middle. And they would take it in their paws and then just slam it into their face and eat everything at the bottom. And then they just flip everything out down on the ground.
Okay, that's what these guys were doing, eating everything at the bottom.
Yep.
Yep.
That's where all the good stuff is, I guess.
I guess.
Not being a squirrel and all, I don't know.
I don't understand why these squirrels aren't, obese, because they're eating. All the time. There's so much for them to eat here. It's incredible. It's just.
Oh,
I've got a
well,
big-
it's almost 11, so I'm probably
Okay.
going to need to go.
Yeah, me too. We've got this gigantic oak tree in the front. Huge oak tree. And every time there's a hurricane, I kind of look at that oak tree. I'm like, oh boy. That would be the end of my house. And, well, I figured it's been there a long time.
I'm going to,
So you guys going to go to Aldi's?
yeah, probably. Aldi's. We've got a certificate from Costco too. I don't know if he wants to run out there or not, though.
Are you members of
spend so
Costco,
much
or
and
is it just a one-day shopping thing?
it's redeemable only at Costco. It's a reward gift certificate
Oh, okay.
for $38.07. But hey, that's $38.07 I'm not spending out of my pocket.
There you go. Yeah.
But we usually go there for bulk items. Like
Yeah.
I buy my oatmeal there and it lasts me 6 months
Oh, wow.
because it's a huge box. It's like a 10-pound box of oatmeal.
Oh, Lord. And it doesn't go bad?
No, I leave it sealed, and then I have a container, and we eat oatmeal nearly every day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
So.
That's a staple.
All right, guys, I'm going to go. And
Me
I
too.
will
Thank
see
you so much for coming on, Becky. I appreciate the
Sure.
company.
Sure. All right, everybody have a wonderful day.
You too. Happy
Bye-bye.
shopping, I guess.
Yeah.
As happy as it can be. All right. I'm going to say goodbye too. And thank you all for coming in. I so appreciate your company this morning. It was wonderful. And I want you, wishing you all a wonderful week that's coming up. And stay cool. You don't have to say stay warm. It's now stay cool. And take care of yourselves. So once again, thank you so much for coming and keeping, me company. And next week I will sew the signatures into the sewing journal. I will show you I will do that live. And the struggle, believe me, will be real. All righty. Bye-bye. Take care.